This is Mona Lisa Baseball, Season 2, Episode 22.
So today I want to talk about a number of things, all right?
Yep.
We are going to talk about the Astros being on fire.
Yep.
We want to talk about playoff money.
Okay.
New stats.
Yep.
They're not really new, but they're new to you, and we're going to break some of them down.
New to me.
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
Okay. What you won't like is I want to talk about Pujols.
Pujols. You know.
Your favorite.
You can milk me for something on Pujols.
They nominated Juan Soto for a Gold Glove.
Oh, I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about something kind of magic happened in a game with the Padres against the Phillies. I want to talk about. And we have a non-baseball fan who watched playoffs because of the show.
Wow.
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I got to say, the first thing that I thought was funny before you asked me anything is because the series went so quick, there was a 5-day delay to the World Series. And
yeah,
it was already booked that way, so they couldn't do anything about it. So that kind of furthers the theory or the proof that journalists don't document the game. They create primetime experiences. 2 weekends worth. They literally have to have game one Friday.
It's on this TV schedule. It's printed in the TV guide.
Yes. That's it.
They already printed it.
It's printed in the TV guide. That's going to sound dated, but couldn't be more true.
Oh, so I recently was speculating the average age of a baseball fan.
Oh, no.
It's 57, not 61 or 63.
Okay. Yeah.
So, well, a little off there. Apparently a bunch of guys died or they figured out they were already dead.
That does kind of feel like the median fan is the 57-year-old in your section. I'm really excited about doing the show, getting excited. I mean, this is probably about as excited about baseball that I've been in a while, where I got to go to a game, one game the last 2 years. So I'm really excited about baseball, which is really cool. I'm reading more about baseball than ever. What I'm into right now is looking for known baseball authors that I haven't read yet. And I'm pretty open to the age, but it seems like the further back it goes, the more I kind of gravitate towards it. Just the way that they describe it. And yet at the very same time, when I'm the most enthusiastic about baseball that I've been for in many, many years, that's when the gnarliest shit's happening. So it makes sense that my brain's attuned for what's happening right now because it's really, really major. And it's getting brushed aside with a, dare I say, frivolity that is shocking, really. I don't think people really, it's actually hit them what it's going to be like next year. And it's going to be,
with the clocks,
it's going to develop a lot of interesting conversations.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of talk about baseball. And I'm just having a blast doing it. Yeah. In the next couple of years, I think there's going to be who the fuck knows what happens the next 2 years, you know?
Well, if people only watch the playoffs and they suspend the stupid rules for the playoffs, then no one will even notice.
I can't remember if it was you or someone else, but I got sent the attendance numbers.
That was me.
Okay.
The A's.
A is last. Yep. Pegged at the bottom.
You had to scroll all the way to the bottom.
I got to say, I was really impressed. I think there were 2 or 3 teams that drew over 3 million. St. Louis was one. And it just kind of gave me a thought where you go, all right, maybe it's being blown out of proportion when people say the attendance is down, 6% a year for X amount of years. You have multiple ballparks drawn over 3 million. I mean, baseball's rolling right along.
No. That's what we mean when we say that baseball is still popular regionally, but overall it is losing popularity. So
I see. Yeah, because if you're just going off attendance,
overall things are down, but there are towns where people still love baseball, like Philadelphia.
Yeah.
In Philadelphia, they're going to break the record for the most expensive World Series tickets in history.
Oh, shit.
They're already second right now. And, this is StubHub data. We have the StubHub data. It's in. And only second to the 2016 Cubs, right?
Okay.
And you're going to like this, that the NLCS outsold the ALCS by 50%, according to StubHub data.
Whoa.
And the Phillies tickets are going for way more than the Astros tickets.
Jeez. A rabid baseball town. I've been waiting to say this to you. The third place Phillies. How does that sound?
You mean how
I read that in print and it really hit me hard.
How 3 teams in one division made the playoffs?
The third place Phillies are going to the World Series. I mean, when you actually read the words, it's a little frightening. It really exemplifies the tournament end of it.
Yeah.
Just qualify, baby, and get hot in October.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about the Phillies' rise. We have a very obvious West Coast bias.
No, I'm really feeling the hurt right now for the National League. I mean, obviously the Phillies are a good team, but I'm feeling the hurt where to not get a 111 Dodger representation.
Yes, right.
I really feel the loss of not playing my best team.
Go Phillies.
As a, like National League representative. It just seems like the Phillies should have to do more to knock off the Dodgers in the playoff structure.
Well, we talked about how it was actually the Padres that knocked off the Dodgers.
No, that's what I mean, though. It's like the Dodgers didn't really get a say.
Yeah.
It's too hard for them to defend their turf in terms of 111 wins because baseball is such a chance game.
Well, I mean, you want to talk about Philly and the Padres. I want to talk about this. There was, in their game 5, it started to rain for a second, right? Padres are down. Okay. There's 2 wild pitches in a row. Padres start coming. They come back. Okay. They take the lead. I'm thinking the baseball gods are real.
Yeah.
Because it stopped raining the very next inning.
Huh.
Yeah, it immediately stopped raining. Try to grip a pitch when the rain's coming down hard. And they know they can look at the radar and go, it's just going to pass. You know? Talk about using up the pitch clock every second.
Yeah.
But the baseball gods are not real because the Padres still lost the series, just like all other gods.
Well, the baseball gods they're such a long time frame operationally where you'd think, like the baseball gods of the Red Sox sure have written a hell of a script.
It's some Old Testament shit right there.
Yeah, totally.
But they were delivered to the promised land, finally. I think every baseball fan was happy for them.
Yeah, totally. I was psyched.
You have to be.
I was thinking back on this. I don't believe I really watched any of the Red Sox Cardinal games. I think I watched all of the Red Sox Yankee games. And then the World Series, you just kept hearing, Sox won again. And then it was 3-up. You knew they'd sweep. But I don't think I saw any of the World Series that year. But I remember the very tangible feeling of Boston must be going berserk in a way that I could never understand right now.
Yeah, it was on fire.
Sounds like it was pretty fun.
So talking about being on fire, you asked me previously, what's the hot team? It's definitely the Astros. They are undefeated in the playoffs.
Undefeated.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Don't you love it?
Do the Astros have the best American League record?
So the Astros had 106 and the Guardians had 90.
Fuck.
Yeah, they had the best. Dude, the Astros are definitely going. I'm calling it for the Astros. I'm sure the bookies have it for the Astros.
Yeah.
I'll tell you another thing. Check this out. Guess what series the Astros played their final series before the end of the regular season? Guess who they played?
Ooh. I mean,
you won't be able to guess because it was the Phillies.
No fucking way.
It was, because of interleague. It's all the time. And
the final series.
Yeah, their final series before the end of the regular season was with the Phillies. They took 2 out of 3 and outscored them 13-5, including a shutout. I mean, how can you not be thinking, Stros again?
Yeah, man.
So let's try to explain some of these new stats to you. You want to learn about some of these new stats?
Lay it on me.
You're ready.
I can't promise you I'll get it, but I'll try.
You don't have to memorize this stuff, but you want to know, and I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
OPS.
Yeah, I don't really know much about that one.
It's on base plus slugging.
On base
Simple.
plus slugging.
Yeah, it's a really easy one.
Why do people like it?
It's a more accurate way of measuring someone's production. You're getting closer to what you really want. You're getting further and further away from a dumb stat like RBIs. We'll talk about RBIs later.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. This is 2 episodes in a row where you're kind of downgrading the RBI. I want to know why.
Well, because it's the worst possible stat to try to judge how good a player is.
You mean people get overrated too easily if they have a high amount of RBIs?
So you may have just had somebody who was, you had a couple of guys in front of you who just really had a on-base percentage. So of course you're going to get RBIs. Even on flyouts and stuff like that. Whereas somebody else without those 2 guys in front of him, he doesn't get that. So OPS, it's a number that combines 2 other numbers. It's a shorthand.
Oh, so it's kind of, okay. It's a little bit shorthand.
Yeah, but when you're trying to distill the raw offensive production of somebody, like how many bases are they going to produce? Like OPS is getting you closer than other numbers.
Right, because if you follow the Moneyball formula, at least the scene of he gets on base, you go, hey, they're getting base on balls, they're getting doubles, they're involving themselves in people rounding bases. So
yeah, well, the Moneyball equation is the WAR equation, and we'll get to that later.
Okay.
I want to start with these simple ones first.
Okay. Next.
So now that we understand OPS.
Math class is going well so far.
I'm going to tell you it's going to get really weird when we get to WAR. Let's get to the next one.
I'm ready.
Whip,
right. Pitching stat.
Oh, you know that. That's good. Yep. Okay. Got anything else?
Wins, hits, innings pitched.
No. Almost. I mean,
I'm one off, huh?
You finished strong. I'll just read the official thing, right?
Yes.
It's the sum of a pitcher's walks and hits divided by his total innings pitched.
Walks and hits. So how often they're letting someone get on base.
Exactly. It's a lot like OPS in that way.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
You're taking a couple of numbers and you're just distilling them down into one number.
Yeah.
Now imagine that you have an infinite number of numbers.
Yes.
Well, that's WAR.
Jesus.
Yeah, WAR is the most complicated stat that exists almost. Different entities have different ways of calculating WAR. WAR stands for wins above replacement, right? This is what Jonah Hill invented in Moneyball.
Okay.
He invented it.
Wow.
But he did it. That's the joke, right? The music swells. I figured it out.
Oh.
We just need to see if a guy is better than some other guy.
The music didn't swell.
That we can get for the base salary.
Hatterberg.
Wins above replacement. It's factored for a million things. Your position, how many positions you can play, all your batting stats, all your defensive stats.
Nice.
All that stuff. There's a lot that goes into calculating WAR, and there's different ways to do it. If you're curious out there about like what is analytic baseball, like what are you guys even talking about? Well, we're talking about WAR.
Yeah, it's not really that interesting to me.
I know.
You know who the baseball writer Dan Okrent?
Yeah, what about him?
He's basically a stats geek, but he loves the game as well. He's the guy one of a couple, I guess, that invented the original rotisserie league fantasy baseball, because he felt like he could choose a better team than his other baseball friends because he knew more about baseball than they did.
Prove it.
So that's kind of how it got started. He's just sort of one of those natural baseball minds. Clearly, there's a group of people that dive the fuck into baseball like completely geek out on baseball stats. And it's kind of one of those more power to them type of things.
As a game developer, it's difficult to write good AI that can beat the player unless you break production down, right? Unless you can find ways to quantify how good something is.
Yeah.
And so WAR is, and the different versions of it are all inarguably better ways to evaluate how valuable a player is on your team.
It's almost cheating. Hiring Jonah Hill's character was cheating. So we can win the game. Hatterberg.
I mean, is it cheating? I don't know. I love it. They're outsmarting you.
Yeah. No, exactly.
But I also don't like some of the effects that, this thinking does have on the game. I've got another stat for you that is not as complicated. I think you'll actually really, really like this one.
All right.
This one's going to be fun.
Yeah, I want to have fun.
And then I'm going to take a shit on top of it.
All right. That's what baseball does best these days.
You ready for this? It's called OAA.
Oh, I don't think I've heard of this one.
It's a way to evaluate the defensive capabilities of a player. Okay. And it stands for outs above average. Okay. So it's like, how many outs do we think you're getting based on, you throwing people out in close plays, all this stuff. It's very complicated, but you're going to like this one better because I don't think there's been a good stat for this. We've got so many offensive stats.
It's a great call.
We don't have good defensive stats. You and I didn't have that.
Definitely not.
When we were like collecting baseball cards, there was nothing on the back for defensive stuff.
Maybe errors. Maybe. Tops.
Oh, yeah. They had errors.
Tops might have done that.
Yeah.
The full stats.
That's not fair, though, because shortstops, depending on your position, there's just more chances.
No, you know what I think is on a good old school Tops baseball card was fielding percentage.
Oh, they did have fielding percentage.
And they would also do a thing where they'd put it in italics if you were the league leader.
Yeah.
You could compile some information that way and kind of get used to what numbers are good ones.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the numbers right now, and the top 6 are second baseman, shortstop, and center fielders, and a third baseman. So, right field, left field, first base. These are your beefy guys.
Sure.
Probably not your best defensive players. When they're being brought up in the minors, they're being funneled into these positions based on their body type, based on what the trainers are seeing, based on maybe an injury they had. Who knows? Okay. Who knows? Outs above replacement, though, is a great way to evaluate how valuable someone is on your team. And guess what? This does go into WAR. This is like a subset of WAR in a way.
Right.
Yeah, because WAR does account for your defensive abilities. Well,
oh,
I want to let you know that Rawlings has announced the 2022 Gold Glove candidates.
Okay.
And if only there was a way we could evaluate the defensive capabilities of these players.
Oh, wow. This is interesting. Wow. God, because defensive gold glove probably used to be 100% subjective outside of, errors and assists. You'd watch Ozzie Smith play and you go, I think Ozzie's the best defensive shortstop. Let's give it to Ozzie.
Isn't that why you ask the sports writers? Because they've watched it and they should know, I mean, I don't know if the numbers reflect this, but this guy,
right.
I've seen him throw.
Right.
Well, now we have this OAA.
It just says the number. Whoever has the best number.
We can rank these guys on a vertical scale. Okay.
You just get the award.
Yeah. I was rooting for the Padres.
Yeah.
This year. Just purely for underdog reasons, West Coast bias reasons. Yeah. And, Juan Soto. Okay. We've talked about what is Juan Soto money.
Yeah.
This guy is worth almost $500 million or whatever. And they did nominate him for a Gold Glove, except that he is at the very bottom of this list of OAA. Okay. He is tied for 2 other people with the second lowest. And they gave him a Gold Glove nomination. Juan Soto. Why?
Yeah, that's a really good question.
What's going on at Rawlings? You guys are freaking crazy.
So talk to me about theory here. What the fuck's going on?
What the fuck's going on? I don't know. He's Juan Soto. He deserves it. He's so good. Give him a trophy for this, even though he doesn't deserve it. I don't know. This is stupid.
When you guys came in with the original Juan Soto money at 400-something million, I found it impossible that
You were still talking about A-Rod in season 1, bro.
So is he all that?
Do you don't think these contracts have gone up since then?
Is he all that, man? Have you seen him play enough to know?
His WAR must have been really high.
How much have you seen him play?
Not that much, but he can hit the ball with the bat.
What's his position?
Obviously.
On defense. Right field?
Yeah, he's in right field. He's a hit the ball with the bat guy. Remember the right fielder, right? Oh, I've got an update for you.
All right.
Before the new rule, the Shohei Ohtani rule this year, Shohei did play right field last year.
Oh, okay.
I think 1 or 2 times. So.
I have thought about that every now and again and how that still surprised me. And I was thinking, God, maybe he doesn't want to fuck around with the other positions. He just wants to be a pitcher that hits. I wonder how the universal managers are going to feel once you get rid of the National League manager style, the double switch artist. I wonder how that's going to feel in the world of managers right now, where you go, man, I wonder if there's guys looking at each other going, really miss that National League. Managing in the AL just isn't as good.
We talk about the slow boil, right? And think about how many interleague games they've been playing. So all the time, these NL managers have to play AL style.
Yeah,
They're
that's
doing
true.
It all the time, and it's not even like...
I mean, the AL probably started sniveling once they had too many...
They were sniveling so hard, like AL pitchers were like, oh, I hate these interleague games where I have to bat.
God.
That was a big driving force behind the unspoken thing that we will not talk about.
So unfair. Okay, so I want your movie review of Battered Bastards of Baseball. Go.
I loved it. It was wonderful. Can you imagine? I mean, this is like you couldn't make that up. It was so good.
I know. It was like a dream come true movie for me.
Right? Like an independent team. Are you kidding me? You're right. I mean, this has got to be your inspiration for
everything.
Starting up a new league or something.
And how stoked were you on Kurt Russell's baseball family?
That guy. It's on Netflix. Everyone go watch it. Battered Bastards of Baseball. It's great. Watch it.
The way that the town attached themselves to the ragtag guys that just play ball in their unique ways, it's a slightly different spin on Moneyball, where this weird, eccentric guy felt like he could pull out some talent, and they won a lot of baseball. They were getting first place.
They had more attendance than some pro teams.
In Portland.
The people voted with their attendance, with their tickets.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, listen to the people. Please, MLB, come on.
Yeah.
Attendance is down.
Well, thanks for sharing.
Attendance is down. That's not a joke. Like, attendance is down. Is everything okay?
All right. I just fell in the chair. I just broke something. I got to get up.
You didn't break anything in your body, did you?
I could have cracked my head open there.
Tragedy. You're okay.
Yeah, I'm okay. We're back.
Okay. You're sure?
Yeah, totally. No injuries.
Okay. All right, man. Well, let me hurt you in a different way mentally. Albert Pujols hit his 703rd knock, and he passed Babe Ruth for the most RBI of all time.
Oh, most RBIs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you play a really long time, and you're really strong, and you play for a lot of good teams, and you hit third or fourth. You're gonna have a lot of opportunities for RBIs.
Yeah.
And he pulled it off, a full career. It's amazing. 700 homers.
Uh-huh.
What is it, 4 guys?
RBIs? In terms of RBIs.
Yep.
Now he's in second behind Hank Aaron.
Okay. Did you see what the number was when he passed Ruth? Around 2,000, I'm thinking?
It was 2,216, and he finished the season with a couple more, and Aaron's got 80 more than that, or 79.
Oh, wow. Is he going to play one more year?
Is he going to get 79 RBIs in a year? I mean, it could happen, right?
He could.
Yeah, I know, right?
How many knocks did he hit this year? 30?
Albert Pujols home run 2022. How many fucking knocks this year? I bet it wasn't that many. See if I'm right. 24.
24. Oversold the bastard. That's pretty good when you're in your 40s. Although, talk to Barry Bonds about it.
Yeah. You want to know the list of the all-time home run record leaders, right?
No, I mean, I know it.
You know it. I know it. Dogs know it. Albert Pujols is in fourth.
Yeah, 703.
He could pass the Babe for home runs next year, yes, if he plays.
He'll play. I don't see why he wouldn't. Didn't he make like 40 million this year or something stupid?
He just needs 12 more.
He's coming back.
Think how expensive the games will be when he's about to get that.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like Bonds kind of ruined it. Or is that really even fun anymore?
Yeah.
The chase to watch an old guy pass an old... I just think that's kind of lost its luster. Maybe not. I mean, it seems like the people in St. Louis were loving it. Or at least that's what I heard.
Someone in St. Louis so stoked to think that maybe he's going to pass Babe Ruth next year. I guarantee you that they're going to make T-shirts. People are going to go crazy.
Yeah.
And, you want to take that away from them.
Definitely not.
You villain. You're such an evil man.
It seems anticlimactic.
Talk about the fun police. Anonymous One wants to take the DH out of the NL so that Albert Pujols has to hit his home runs in New York or Tampa Bay instead of in St. Louis.
If you didn't say that, I would have forgot. And that is what's so valuable is the team, if they want Albert Pujols to keep playing, should be paying a tax for having him in the lineup, which is put him somewhere on defense.
Yeah, I know. Real baseball.
From what I remember, he's a pretty damn good fielder, and he plays a good first base. So how much cooler is it if he's still at first base as a 40-whatever-year-old? That's just so much cooler.
This is what it takes to pass Babe Ruth. These are the hoops you have to jump through. You have to change the rules.
Oh, I'm connecting the dots here. After you were just talking about Pujols and selling a lot of tickets, and they're going to be able to sell the shit out of his historic chase or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, they tie together.
Well, good luck passing Hank Aaron and Barry Bonds, though. That's definitely the next that's up there. That's 40 more. That's a lot.
No, he'll do. I think he's good for one more year. He wants the RBI record, and he wants to pass Babe Ruth, and then that's about all he can ask for. He should be a first baseman, though.
I mean, I don't want to speculate. This is so wrong. This is so wrong of me, but like, if I was that, and I am that age, and I'm still playing baseball, I'd be on everything they give me. Give me it all. I want the testosterone boosters. I want...
Give me the bennies.
The human growth hormone. Maybe not the bennies. I don't know. I think
Speed Freak.
That's burning at both sides. Maybe he's doing that. I don't know. One more year, your last year, take the greenies. Go for it. Fuck it.
I heard Darryl Strawberry describing what it's like hitting on speed.
Yeah.
And he's describing it as the ball just looks like a big old grapefruit coming in. How cool is that visual?
A lot of these video games have this thing in them where you can like cast a spell or take a drug and it just slows down time.
Yeah.
You know, and
I like that. What a perfect thing for a video game.
If you're sped up, everything's slowed down. Oh, yeah, you got to have them power-ups. Yeah, that's
definitely.
What video games are all about.
Yeah.
Yeah, power-up.
This would be right up your alley. Wonder if you got to come across this one, but Baseball Simulator 1000. That was the first power-up game that I'd ever heard of. There were pitching power-ups too, where the ball would be invisible. You could do power-ups like
an invisible ball.
Yeah. I mean,
that's coming. That's coming. 2052. Yeah, you can use it once an inning, as long as you don't step off twice.
You might want to look that one up. I think you'd have interest in it. Baseball Simulator 1000. It probably came out in 88 or something like that. There's maybe 5 fields you can play on. This wasn't in the days where you played the Cubs and you played at Wrigley. This was where the ball fields were very general. But this game that had 4 or 5 options, and one of them was space, and one of them was brown. I remember
brown,
which kind of it's such a funny name. It kind of resembles the Sandlot or something like that.
Oh, it's dirt. It's dirt lot.
But yeah, basically that. But then space was kind of, a Jetsons-ish ballpark. But it's all, 80s graphics, probably something that bring back perhaps fond memories.
Did they have the low gravity in space?
It might have been slightly easier to hit bombs there.
How fun would it be to play baseball with a low gravity?
I mean, I think that's the concept behind the guy that brought the golf club up into space.
Or what about playing baseball with higher gravity? Maybe that would be even more interesting.
Well, check this out. Imagine what this would do for baseball. This and this alone, all parks push their fences back. What would happen to baseball?
Not as many people would watch it.
You think?
Yeah.
Why not?
Chicks dig the long ball.
I don't really feel like that many people just tune in for home runs. They've kind of been forced to because it's kind of been proven that home runs, theoretically win a lot of games.
Okay, so you think the home run is overblown. I got an idea.
It's become too large of a pie slice of baseball, I would say.
So you think they should push the fences out?
Definitely. I think it would make it, not...
That will never happen.
I mean, and not everyone universally, but if ballparks had the courage to...
Well, the trend is going in the opposite direction.
Yeah. Fucking tell me about it.
Well, I mean, they're bringing the fences in these days.
Fucking tell me about it. I've watched this happen for 30 years.
You've seen it. You've seen it in San Francisco.
All I see.
You already know what this looks like. I don't have to explain it to you.
Makes me sick.
Yeah.
That's one of the coolest things about reading old baseball books is you'll see an old picture in right center and you go, 455 to right center? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You want to see a ballpark that looks like that.
Well, because they had those old style stadiums that were giant squares and you could just play any kind of sport on them other than baseball. Like you could do anything out. They have all kinds of events out there. Like, like dressage.
It was a crazy venue. And I think it only lasted 1 or 2 years. But it was when they were building Dodger Stadium. They played where USC plays their football games. Same place the 84 Summer Olympics were. It's a field that makes absolutely no sense for baseball. But when you see the aerial footage, you go, something.
It's fun to have weird fields.
Something funky and cool.
Like you've talked about that a bunch. Weird fields are just different fields. It's okay. It's fun. It's interesting. It makes the game more interesting. It makes the home team have an advantage. It's part of baseball. One of the beautiful things about baseball is you can have a weird field. It's fine. Go to Boston. It's weird. It's fine, though. Nobody's questioning it. No one's telling them they need to push that fence back or whatever. It's just a baseball field. and it's got its own quirks. If you play left field in Boston, good luck.
Oh, man.
You've got to play it off that. You got to learn how to play it off a wall.
That'd be so fun as an outfielder.
And how interesting is that we can say that there's a strategy that has to be applied in just one park almost.
Yep.
That's cool.
Fuck yeah.
So let's keep the cool.
Let's keep the cool.
Balls getting lost in the ivy.
Yep.
At Wrigley, right?
I love that. Yeah, so I'm always on the look for funky baseball books, old ones, picture books, all that type of stuff. I just discovered a field I'd never seen before, and it was in Austin, Texas. And I think it lasted, I think they were playing baseball on it from the 20s, maybe all the way to the mid 60s or mid 70s. And it had, get this, it had actual bluffs in the outfield. There was like a 15-foot bluff in the outfield. If it went above that, the outfielder had to basically climb the bluffs to throw the ball back in.
Nice.
This is real. I saw a picture of it.
Yeah. Were the weeds high, like sunflowers out there?
Not really weeds, but it was a field unlike I'd ever seen. It was legitimate bluffs.
I have some good news.
All right.
I got a friend who started listening to the show, not a baseball fan. He watched a playoff game because of the show.
Was there anything in particular that drew this person, or what is keeping them listening?
Boy,
a non-baseball fan.
Okay, why are people listening to the show? What is the appeal of the show? I actually think that we have something. I think that I wouldn't be doing this anymore with you if I didn't think we actually had a little something special.
Yeah.
And I think that it's hard for me to explain what we are. It's very easy for me to explain what we are not. Okay. And what we are not is we're not like every other podcast, YouTube channel, every other one I find. They are on board with these rule changes, every single one. And it doesn't even seem like every rule change is just like, yes, they're just with it because they are subjects to this thinking. They're just like, they know what's best. I'm along for the ride. They say this will make it better, and I believe them. And we are here to say, no, we disagree. We do not think that some of these changes will make the game better.
I couldn't fathom seeing them and thinking they're a good idea.
It's really hard to find anyone anywhere being critical of the league.
Well, I'll agree. That is what we are not. That is for sure.
Yeah, like we are adversarial, really. Like
I see people who aren't baseball fans poo-poo it. Sort of. Oh, what are you, a baseball guy? I hate that sport. Football is for me.
Oh, that guy's automatically disqualified.
Yeah. Okay, we covered the movie.
The Battered Bastards of Baseball.
Yeah.
So what was your favorite part? Like, what do you think?
It was a baseball story I'd never heard. You didn't really know where it was headed. And then you get so swept up in how the team is described to you that you think you know how they'll play the game. And you think, well, they're probably going to be real lousy, but the fans will love them at least. But they turn out to be winners.
Yeah.
And it just kind of proved the style of team you have can attract fans. And as long as you have a fan base, that's really all you need to have a successful baseball team.
Right.
Obviously, winning is more fun than losing, but it's not as if, having a bad year, you got to dismantle. It showed kind of the character of baseball in terms of audience members might attach themselves to a certain person and I think this is what the scouts used to look for, is kind of that special talent that maybe not everyone sees the talent in someone, but you did, and they might be a great defensive player with, the capability to learn how to hit later. And not everyone has to fit this box of big power, and it's going to be hard to turn off that trend if teams with a bunch of power hitters are winning a bunch of games. It's going to be hard to turn that off, but fans lose. But if we put the fences back, I don't know, could change the way it's played. More doubles and triples.
You want to put the fences back? Not going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen because I think you'd want to build the park around that. So once the next phase of ballpark building happens, it'd be cool if a team mixed in a park with some bigger dimensions. Be way cool.
I wonder sometimes we talk about baseball being regionally popular. Like, I wonder sometimes if we might actually lose teams.
Oh, down from 30. Actually cancel big league teams.
I don't know, man. I hear rumors that if this trend continues, these teams are no longer like financially viable, and there's a lot of other teams who are like, why are we paying this luxury tax, all these other, profit sharing things to these other teams? Like, they're parasites.
Parasites, yeah. Well, I mean, someone would come in and buy the A's for $1 billion, wouldn't they? $2 billion? What are the A's worth?
I don't know. What are they worth now versus what are they worth in Las Vegas? I don't know. We'll see.
I'm sure someone would pay over $1 billion for them. So it sounds like the more they're cheating the luxury tax system than.
I think they're tanking on purpose. This is Major League. We've covered this.
Major League tanking.
This is exactly what I think. I don't care. It's inflammatory to say it, but I think it's true.
Yeah.
They are 1 foot out the door. This Howard Terminal thing is not happening. Goodbye, A's.
Sounds like maybe one more year in Oakland.
Yeah, we've actually talked about that a lot. We talked a lot about the A's. Mm-hmm. I think that's a fun topic.
It really is. It's a good example of as strong as your weakest link, where right now they're the clear loser in terms of attendance and irrelevancy. Is it coincidence the team that brought you Moneyball is now the joke of the entire league?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but is it a joke if it's all part of their plan?
Yeah, could be.
The joke's on us.
They're going such a silly direction with it that it's got to be a joke. But again, we seem to be the only ones that might be thinking that.
Because you're a genuine person, you start calculating things like loyalty and things like that into the equation. I don't think that calculates into their equation at all.
I agree. It's not part of the WAR statistics.
There's no, this guy plays with heart in WAR.
Oh, wow.
I'll never buy a Rawlings mid again.
You peer into the looking glass of baseball.
I'm such a grumpy fucking asshole.
No, I want to know.
No. Nope. No. Nope. No. I have like a solid wood chair. This is an example of like when the good old things are better.
The third place Phillies are going to the World Series.